Would it be possible to kickflip this? And we already have whatever this is. I have like a lot of questions about this setup. This thing should be wiped off the face of the planet. This is a big board. Fingerboard Friday. I don't even know if this video is gonna come out on a Friday, but it is still Fingerboard Friday. And today I'm gonna be looking at your guys' fingerboard setups and giving them a rating. It's been a while since I last made a video reacting to your guys' stuff, but we are getting back into it with the rating subscribers fingerboards part probably like 12 or something. I don't even know what part it is. Starting off with the very first board, this is actually mine. This is a copper board I made in my last video, and if you haven't watched it, definitely go give it a watch. That is a fingerboard made out of solid copper. I know this is my board, but I think it's like a 9 out of 10. My first subscriber's fingerboard is this. This is just a stock tech tag, but I gotta say, that might be my favorite tech tag graphic they have ever made. It just looks like a proper fingerboard graphic, which is sick. This might be the highest tech tag rating I've ever given, but this is a 9 out of 10. This board looks like a DIY board, and it does have kind of cheaper parts, but that does kind of look clean, so I'll give it like a 5 out of 10. The video has barely started, and we already have whatever this is. I actually do not know what is going on with this board. Like, if somebody can explain what this is even made of and like how it was created, I really want to know. -0 out of 10. We got a nice real wear graphic here, and I'm guessing this probably looked better at some point. It's a little bit worn down. 4 out of 10. They say practice makes perfect, but I don't know how you can recover from this one. Like, how did it end up like that? -1 out of 10, but I'll actually change that to 1 out of 10 just for the effort it took to make a board. I don't know if this is the same person who made this board, but I think like everything that could have gone wrong with this board went wrong. How many attempts did it take to drill the holes? What is that graphic even supposed to be? Why is there still pencil marks on the edge of the board? The board itself is like flatline 0 out of 10, but the graphic is like alright, but I kind of still don't know what it even is. Dude, this board is kind of clean. I'm no fingerboard professional, but I'm pretty sure this is like a Black River Complete or something. Honestly, pretty clean. 8.9 out of 10. We got two pretty nice setups here. We got the Gripsion X Bull God board on the left, and I'm pretty sure that deck on the right is Slush Cult. I know it sounds strange considering all my content is fingerboard related, but I actually don't even follow fingerboarding like super close, so I'm sorry if I mess up like which decks are which. I'll give the Bull God board an 8 out of 10 and the board on the right a 9 out of 10. This graphic might be one of my favorites of all time. We got the nutrition facts on the fingerboard. 6 grams of coolness, 5 grams of dopeness. Kickflip 10 out of 10. If you mess up your first kickflip on this board, I don't know what to say. Really cool setup. I'll probably give this like an 8.2 out of 10. We got a beautiful raw wood deck here. These are just tech deck trucks, but the board overall looks really cool, so I'll give this like a 7.5 out of 10. We got a nice 28mm board here, and that graphic is kind of cool. I love it when the graphic kind of matches like the parts on the board. It just has a nice clean look. 6 out of 10. We got a pretty solid setup here. I'm pretty sure this is probably just like a homemade deck or something, but the parts are overall pretty good. I want to say these are dynamic wheels, and then we have Black River trucks, but pretty solid. 7.9 out of 10. I've made a couple fingerboards in my life, and I don't really think you're supposed to drill like through the deck like in the middle. 2 out of 10. Colors on this board are pretty bright, and I kind of don't like those colors. Kind of cheaper parts on this board, but since kind of nothing really matches, I'm gonna give this like a 3 out of 10. If you guys want the highest rating possible, make everything match. We have an absolute classic here. This LC board setup looks to be pretty stock, but I'll give this like a 7.2 out of 10. I know most of you guys probably know I don't really like super detailed graphics, but this one looks so sick. The trucks match, the wheels match, the graphic is cool, the board looks pretty good. This is like a 9.6 out of 10. This is an LC Boards deck, and I've actually never seen this one before, but it is really cool. Looks like they also have some sort of urethane wheel, which is good, and everything matches good, so this is like a 7 out of 10. This is another Gripsion X Bull God board, which might be one of my favorites. We got some transparent light pink wheels on this board, and it also has dynamic trucks. In terms of parts on this board, this is probably like an 8 out of 10, but since nothing really matches all that well, it's probably more of like a 7. A paper fingerboard with tech deck parts is probably a canon event that everybody's done. I've seen some like pretty good paper setups, and I've also seen some like really terrible ones, but this is probably like right in the middle. In terms of DIY boards, I'm probably gonna give this like a 3 out of 10. We have a budget fingerboard here, and everything does match pretty good, so I'll give this like a 6.5 out of 10. Dude, this board is sweet. These are still like China trucks and China wheels, but that deck looks so cool. I can't tell if that white stripe is like a white piece of veneer or if it's like just painted on there, but either way, it looks really clean. Everything matches pretty well. So this is probably like an 8 out of 10. I do not think I've ever seen a teak tuning board with this good of parts on it. Like, this guy has dynamic trucks with solid urethane wheels, and he's still running a teak deck. This setup could be so much better if they got a different deck. Still pretty good parts though, so this is like a 5.8 out of 10. That is a hand board. I'm not talking about like a hand board. This is a board made out of a hand. Would it be possible to kickflip this? Could you start with your hand flipped some way that you can pop and do like a kickflip? That is all I want to know. 10 out of 10. If you guys happen to be enjoying the video so far, I'd appreciate a like on the video. Also, if you want your fingerboard to be featured in the next video like this, the Discord is in the link in the description. I have like a lot of questions about this setup, but I think like the main one is what kind of trucks are those with the red wheels? And also just where are the wheels from? And also what is the board made of? This might be the goofiest looking board I've ever seen on this series, but I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10. Do not question the reasoning behind it, but it kind of looks cool. Dude, I want this board so much. These are glow-in-the-dark fingerboard wheels, and that board is just majestic. I have to give this one a 10 out of 10. Bruh. This board is dialed. This is one of David Jones' fingerboard decks, and the parts on this board are so good. These are a brand new set of dynamics, and those are also ill-pill wheels, which is probably one of the best combos ever. I have to give this board a 10 out of 10. We got a beautiful set of Black River trucks on this board. I've tried these wheels in the past, and I really don't like how they feel, so for that, I'm probably gonna give this like a 5 out of 10. I'm sure this setup isn't too bad, but nothing matches on this at all. The trucks and wheels are the same color, which kind of doesn't match on really any sort of setup. 4 out of 10. Okay, this setup is actually wild. A Black River deck with Black River trucks and Maple 3.0 wheels, and everything matches perfectly. This board is what dreams are made of. This board is like a straight 11 out of 10. This graphic is pretty cool. I have no idea who makes it, and the parts on this board are pretty solid. Maple wheels, golden dynamic trucks on a pretty nice looking deck. I'm gonna give this a 7.2 out of 10 because it doesn't match super well, but the parts are still really good. We got like a medium priced setup here, and I don't really like how the red is kind of like up against the blue and white, so this is like a 5 out of 10. If this setup had red or white wheels, this would be insane. Still a super nice board with really nice parts on it, so this is gonna be like an 8.2 out of 10. You guys are getting a lot better at matching parts with the fingerboard deck because this thing is clean. Dynamic trucks with shark wheels, and I have no idea what deck that is, but that is all clean. 9.2 out of 10. I've made a review of this fingerboard brand's trucks before, and I'm pretty sure this is like a new version that came out. These aren't like my favorite colors or really like graphic idea on a fingerboard, but everything does match really well. 7.7 out of 10. I'm pretty sure this is the same setup as number 33, so I'll just give it the same rating. What is this? Nothing matches at all. Why do you guys do this? Why can I see the grip tape on the other side of the board? 1 out of 10 for this one. Oh my goodness. This is a beautiful board. Black River trucks with the board rails and everything matches. The bushings could be black or yellow to make it match even more, but overall everything still matches really well. Dude, 9.9 out of 10 on this one. I just gotta say, this is probably the cleanest like fully DIY board I've ever seen. I've seen some pretty traumatizing fully custom made fingerboards in the past, but this one is actually like kind of clean. From a distance, you can't even tell it's fully DIY. If this board can actually survive doing tricks, it might not actually be that bad. Like, this would still be a pretty terrible setup to use, but considering this is like fully made by hand, it's pretty good. 8 out of 10. This board is beautiful. This board isn't just majestic, this is like majestical. 9.3 out of 10. I don't know if this is tech deck, I don't know where all these parts came from or what parts they even are. 1 out of 10. We got a DIY Gripsion mountain graphic board, and this thing is pretty well made. It looks like just a paper board, but I'm pretty sure they actually like glued paper over a tech deck. Either way, that is one of my favorite graphics ever put on a fingerboard, so I'll give it a 6 out of 10. This is exactly what I was talking about when I said traumatizing DIY boards. Like, who are the people who create these? And what are these even made out of? I don't know how low I'm allowed to go on the scale, but these are like a negative 50 out of 10. This is such a pretty setup. Black River trucks with probably also Black River wheels, and this is like a nice split ply deck. The split ply deck has kind of like an offset feel to it, which is also kind of cool. Probably the easiest 9 out of 10 ever. This is why 3D printers should never have been invented. I wish I never saw this. I know this is probably like part of a fingerboard mold or something, but this should not be turned into a fingerboard. 2 out of 10 because you might be able to do a trick on this board. I'm pretty sure somebody has submitted this board before, but this is a jump scare every single time. This thing should be wiped off the face of the planet. -2 infinities out of 10. Remember, 1 infinity is smaller than 2 infinities. This is a big board. I love how these wide boards never have a proportional like nose or tail to them. At least nothing matches on this board, so I'm able to give it a low rating. 1.5 out of 10. These Tech Deck Santa Cruz boards are so cool. I still have yet to find one of these, but I really want to get my hands on one. Just dude, look at how cool that looks. I survived another rating subscriber's fingerboard. Once again, the links to the Discord is in the description if you want to submit your fingerboard. Go drop a comment if your fingerboard is featured in this video, and also comment down below what your favorite fingerboard was in the video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.